a Sunday afternoon. Oh, what I read between the lines. The lines. Feeling like a hand in rusted chain. So do you laugh or does it cry? Reply.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. This is episode 959 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host. 2 thumbs, all smiles, stabilized from an illness perspective, but still not feeling great. Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next hour, if you are looking to stay informed on the top cyber news and be able to use that information to either absolutely destroy a job interview or be able to deliver cyber risk reduction in a practical way for your business and stakeholders, well, my friends, settle in, because that's what we're going to be doing alongside friends like Dennis Keefe, Roswell, UK, Port Zero up in the Midlands, Richard Duff, Devin Grady in the Low Country. Devin Grady in the Midlands. I think Devin Grady's in the Low Country. Face Doyle across the pond. Guys, we are going to be shredding it. And if this is your first episode, first of all, welcome to the party, pal. And if you are here for the first time, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. We love to welcome our first timers and get to know them a little bit and let you know that you are included in this scene, in this party. Shout out to Casually Joseph with the STP Interstate Love Song request. First time, long timer coming across the airwaves. Little Casey Kasem throwback. Thank you, Casually Joseph. When you wake up and watch on replay, you'll know we were thinking about you. Guys, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, file it away, and once a year, count those screenshots, divide by 2. Now, that may have sounded like a friggin' SAT puzzle question, but check it out. 1 CPE is 1 hour. The show's an hour long. We have a good time. So to avoid any arguments, we say it's a half a CPE, right? 30 minutes. And we are going to get into the thick of it with the news stories and my expert analysis. So I do have 20 years of experience in industry, 20 plus. I'm faculty at the Citadel Military College. I believe you can make a very compelling argument that I am qualified to lead an instructor-led webinar on this particular topic. So it qualifies. All you got to do is say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, maybe include the date and the episode number. It's all about good times. Thanks, Elliot Matisse. Guys, it's all about good times. And you only really need the screenshots in the event that you get audited. And we're not unethical. We're not fraudulent up in this piece. We put the work in. We do the hard stuff. That's what it's about. So settle in. We got a great show for you. I do not know any of the stories that we're going to be going over. I know a little bit about the titles because now I start doing this cool thing right here. Giddy up on this one. Shout out to Kathy Chambers for enabling this. So I do know some of the stories that are coming up, but really not any of the meat and potatoes of them. Now, every single day of the week has a special segment, and you guys know that Wednesday is Worldwide Wednesday, where we go around the world. Face Oil is going to represent Ireland. Space Taco is going to represent United States. We got it for days. Roswell, UK is going to be UK-ing it up. So we got it cooking. But before we get into all that, before we rip the face off of this show, what's up, Haircut Fish? Good to see you. Let me say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors. And I want to call special attention because time is of the essence. You do not want to be hearing too late is the cry when the man with the anti-siphon training, which is happening today at noon, passes you by. Anti-siphon training, disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry and inspiring Simply Cyber Academy in so many ways, is hosting their recurring anti-cast series. Now, 2 things I want to tell you about this. Number 1, they do pre-show banter before the show starts so people can get in there and settle in. They always have different people on the pre-show banter. Think of it as like a fun hangout before the actual session starts. I have been asked to be part of this one later today. So if you like my style and you want to high five and hang out, come on down. I'll be there, and then I'll be staying for Nick Ascoli and Eric Clay's webinar on unraveling InfoStealer threat networks. Guys, InfoStealers are so hot right now.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
So if you're talking in an interview or you're trying to be better at defending your organization and you really don't know enough about InfoStealers, this is going to help you immensely. Luma InfoStealer was gigantic a couple weeks or a month ago, right? Raccoon, Redline, like Snake. Dude, there's like tons of them, okay? Let's get to the bottom of it. Nick Ascoli, Eric Clay are going to help us out. All you have to do is go to anti-training.com. You'll see it. I'm actually going to link right here. I will be there. You do have to register because they do it via Zoom. But yes, exactly. Tailgating Space Tacos. So I will be there. I'm excited. I love, like, guys, I've made no secrets about it. I'm a huge Nick Ascoli fan. If you guys don't know who Nick Ascoli is, the guy with the longer hair here, Eric Clay is great too. But if you don't know Nick Ascoli, you are in for a treat. All right. Also want to say shout out and love to Barricade Cyber Solutions. Let me check this out. Kimberly's been talking about these webinars lately. So let me see. Yes, sir. Look at this. At 1 o'clock today, so right after the anti-siphon training, Barricade Cyber Solutions is excuse me. Barricade Cyber Solutions is hosting their Fortified 365 webinar series. If you would like, I don't know exactly what this webinar series is about, but it is hosted by Eric Taylor, and it's talking about Microsoft 365 foundational type stuff. So if you're interested in that, you absolutely want to check it out. Eric Taylor, very well-versed, very senior practitioner, runs Barricade Cyber Solutions, and will be hosting this webinar at 1 o'clock today. So technically, if you have a slow day at work and you're looking for the double shot, 12 to 1, and then immediately pivot like Ross from 1 to 2 for Fortified 365, I think you might want to take an extended lunch, right? And if you live in like, I don't know, I feel like this is a San Diego thing. So, but if you live in like San Diego, but you're on the East Coast, you could technically take a 2-hour lunch, go down to like Rancho Luis, right? A really nice like Mexican restaurant bar area, belly up, get yourself some chips and salsa and just settle in for 2 hours of unbelievable education and knowledge today. So go to webinars.barricadecyber.com to get registered. It's all free to attend these, okay? All right. Finally, let me say what's up to Threat Locker, okay? And then we're going to go Wild West. Worldwide Wednesday. Quick note from Threat Locker, also platinum sponsor for Simply CyberCon. If you haven't checked out simplycybercon.org yet, please do. We've got the room blocks ending October 2nd. So if you want to get a hotel at a discounted rate, we've got the training open for registration. We got so much. Let's hear from Threat Locker. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. Thank you so very much, Threat Locker. Also got Flare Academy coming up in a minute, but before we talk about them, let's go Worldwide Wednesday, guys. This community is amazing. You are amazing. Augusta Delgado, Mara Levy. But we're so much more. When people ask me what is Simply Cyber, it's very difficult to explain because it's not a YouTube channel. It's not a school. It's something else. It's like a living, breathing entity. And you make it that. And it's amazing. And I genuinely appreciate it. And on Wednesdays, we take a minute to celebrate our diversity, our perspective, our unbelievable international footprint by going around the world. So what I'll ask you to do is, mods, get ready. Marcus Kyler has made this world map for us. I'm going to set the timer to 2 minutes, 22 seconds. And we're going to see if we can go around the world, every major continent, live in chat right now. Let's go. All right, here we go. Thomas Marquette, Columbus, Georgia. Face Doyle, I already saw you. I'm going to mark you as Ireland. Roswell, UK. The Rich 464 in Canada, bringing it on. Pennsylvania, Alice Grimm. Welcome, Pennsylvania. All right, let's keep cooking. Mara Levy says we're the best people. I love it. Dirty Jurors in the house. All right, Niagara, Canada. Love it, love it, love it. San Francisco, thanks for getting up early, Phil. All right, Juan David, Oregon, bringing South America online with Colombia. The Columbia contingent. Newport News, Virginia, great spot. St. Paul, Minnesota. Sorry you're dealing with that ransomware incident. Dragos, it's been a minute. Great to see you, Dragos. Romania's back online. Chi-Town, what's up, Chicago? Mississippi, MISSISSSIPPI, the Northwest. What is that? Northwest Alabama. I love it. Paraguay. We're going to have to use the cheat code on Paraguay. Paraguay. There you are, Paraguay. Oh, Paraguay. Landlocked in South America. Very nice. Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria. Hey, what's up, Nigeria? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Ghana and Ethiopia. It looks like the Africa continent train just got off and they just started piling in here. Look at Africa dominating. I love it. Sierra Leone. Hell yeah. Look at you guys. Dude, Africa. You guys showed up, showed out. I love it. What's up? The Philippines, Michael Vito. Good to see you, Michael Vito. Asia's online. Pacific Rim. OKC. I see you. Miami, Florida. Space Taco said she saw Australia. She's a reliable source. Australia is online. Tanzania, we're bringing you on. Africa. We might have to do a show live from Africa, the amount of folks up in here. There's a guest in Brazil. We'll count it. South America. Roswell, UK is lying in chat. Sunea Konakari? What the hell? What is that? Is that a thing? Sunea? I don't have that on my bingo card. I don't know what that is. Denmark. Denmark's in here. The Danes. I have to cheat on Denmark. I know that's embarrassing, but... Oh, Denmark. Denmark, you are up in Scandinavia's business. All right. Bangladesh bringing Africa further online. All right, let's keep cooking. We got to do our... we're on a 20-second delay, so I'm going to... We're on a 20-second delay, so I will be... basically checking this out. Ethiopia, Ghana, Australia, Nigeria, Brazil, Norway. We saw Norway in there. Thank you, Mod. Norway representing. All right. I think we are ready. Rhode Island. I love it, D-Crash. Thank you. Avalon. Okay. Warren, Michigan's in the house. Okay. So let's take a quick inventory here. North America, South America. Dude, South America, you guys came correct. Africa, you guys literally dominating. And then somehow Syria got clicked. I don't know why. Europe is online. Asia online. Australia online. Judges? Yes, I'm getting the nod from judges. All right, everybody. Congratulations. I love it, guys. Absolutely crushed it. This is what I'm talking about. When I talk about Team SC and how amazing this community is, this is what I'm talking about. We straight crushed it. If you had it up, Dubai is in the house. We'll give really quickly so we can have some Middle Eastern representation. Dubai is UAE, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So Middle East represented. This is what I'm talking about, guys. If you think for a minute that you're in an echo chamber, I don't know. Maybe it's an echo chamber of like-minded, honest professionals who are interested in leveling up everybody and putting good into a network, but it's certainly not one country's perspective, because this is what we're doing here. All right, everybody, do me a favor. We got work to do. Wah, wah, wah. So sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome way. I will see you at the mid-roll, and I will tell you about Flare Academy and their amazing opportunities. Whoops, I just closed the tab on Flare Academy, so that's probably not going to work. All right, let's cook.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane. Thousands had data leaked in Blood Center ransomware attack. New York Blood Center confirmed a January ransomware attack exposed sensitive data of thousands of patients and employees. Attackers accessed its systems between January 20th and 26th, stealing names, health records, test results, and in some cases, social security numbers, IDs, and financial details before deploying ransomware. Regulators in Texas said at least 10,557 residents were affected. The full scope remains unclear, but notifications began September 5th, months after the investigation closed in June.
All right. So pretty standard, not standard, but kind of a garden variety ransomware attack. Threat actors got in, they exfilled a little bit of data and then did full ransomware. I will say that there are different kind of, I don't want to call them really TTPs, but like the way that these different threat actors operate, where sometimes they only exfilled a little bit of data. That could have been literally so they could just determine who the victim organization was and decide if they wanted to move forward or not really as part of the, we've got your data and we'll sell it back to you kind of situation. They got hit with ransomware, though. It doesn't matter if a little data got exfilled or a lot of bit of data got exfilled. They're still down. They're still going to have to report all of these PHI or public health information, protected health information data points to victims. This is a HIPAA law. HHS OCR, Office of Civil Rights, is what requires that. Not a good look. Honestly, the threat actors were in there for 6 days. I'm not judging hard, but wading through logs, Wade Wells is in chat. I feel like for a ransomware incident, 6 days is basically, in my opinion, if I had to bet money that mattered to me, like if I was going to put like $100 down on a bet here, like take the parlay, you FanDuel people or DraftKings or whatever, I would imagine that the threat actors were in the environment for 6 days and then detonated the malware. I don't think that the victim organization discovered it. I think that the threat actors announced their presence, which means that their detection was bogus, right? And that's why I asked wading through logs. Like I feel like they would have caught it, right? Or identified it or something like that. So, you can't eliminate all risk, but it doesn't sound like New York Blood Center had pretty great information security in place as far as from a detection perspective. Let's see how much they make. Got to follow the money, GRC. Let's see. The thing is too, the New York Blood Center does not report a single annual revenue figure because they're a nonprofit, but they received $528 million in receipts last year. I don't know, man. Nonprofit making $528 million. I know that they've got a lot of expenses. You got to collect blood, pay people. You got to have refrigeration units, really good technologies to make sure that the blood gets to the right people and everything. But I think you can afford some decent cybersecurity. So it sucks. It sucks, but honestly, like at the end of the day, this sucks, but this is just another ransomware incident of another organization. And the data, like it's the same data, right? Like somebody in chat yesterday said that their side hustle is running identity theft protections for themselves. Like they were making a joke that they have so many identity theft protections that's their side hustle. So like once your data's out, right? Like, I mean, it could get abused and weaponized and everything like that. So I'll say the same thing I always say to everybody. If you don't want to be this organization, if you do not want to be headline news tomorrow, there's best practices. If a threat actor wants to get you, they're going to get you. Okay. What you can do is you can reduce the likelihood that they get you. There's still going to be a percentage, so they will still get you if they want to, right? But you can always control the impact. How bad is it when they get you, right? In this instance, for example, well, we don't have the numbers because they reported to the individual states independently, but so I don't know what their data governance practice was, but like you can limit it through network segmentation, data governance, just not data hoarding, encryption, these type of things, right? Tabletop exercises, end user awareness training so they don't fall for the initial attack, patching, vulnerability management. There's no insight into this story on how they got, right? It could have been a 0 day with Citrix NetScaler. They say Dayquil is supposed to be non-drowsy and non-mess your brain up, but I swear to God, I've got like Dayquil brain right now. So, good luck to you. I'll tell you, there's no shortage of ransomware stories for you to get budget.
UK Electoral Commission recovers 3 years after China hack. The UK Electoral Commission says it took 3 years and more than £250,000 to recover from a 2021 hack by suspected Chinese spies that exposed the personal details of 40 million voters. Attackers exploited an unpatched Microsoft Exchange flaw to access electoral registers and internal emails, which wasn't detected until late 2022. Basic security failures included poor password practices, and ignoring warnings were later said to be the root of the problem. NPM pack.
All right. I mean, this is the asymmetrical issues we're dealing with. A hack can be done in a weekend, and then it takes the organization 3 years to recover. That's bad. That's not good, right? And honestly, like SolarWinds attack, we'll never know if we fully recovered from that. You don't know if there's some like dormant code like sitting out there. All right. The Electoral Commission was publicly reprimanded for a litany of security failures that allowed to a hacking group to spy undetected. Publicly reprimanded. Again, I hate to be like so cynical in 2025, but like, okay. Like someone's going to wag a finger at me. Oh, okay. I'm like, that does not move the needle anymore. So I don't know, like, what the goal here is, but, let's see. The Electoral Commission oversees elections and regulates political finance in the UK. Exactly. I mean, if anything, I think that the actual, I think the problem is really more about the integrity of the election systems. If we saw anything about, anything related to this, the 2020 US presidential elections and the amount of scrutiny that went into the elections and the systems, and CISA got involved with electoral. At DEF CON, we have voting village, or what do they call the village at DEF CON? I think it's voter village or something. There's a village around like the technology of voting in the United States. But this is a hit to the integrity and repudiation of the election system in the UK. So hopefully they've gotten around this. You'll see that they weren't even discovered until a password system upgrade, which I don't even know what that means. I guess maybe they found like shadow accounts that have been created with passwords or something. I don't know. TLDR though. Espionage. The threat actors, China, as it's been attributed, could read every email sent and received to the commission. If you wanted a masterclass, right, in espionage, China's far and away the best. All right, so how do they fail? Not keeping software up to date. Vulnerability management. You gotta patch it. Ignoring advice from the National Cybersecurity Center. Guys, threat intelligence is important. You're supposed to use it. You're not just getting threat intelligence so you can check a compliance box. You're getting threat intelligence so you can take action. Here's a fun fact. You don't have infinite time. Okay, spoiler alert. You don't have infinite time. So how do you choose how to spend your time? If you have 10,000 vulnerabilities, which would be low in your environment, which ones do you prioritize? Which ones are the worst? Which ones can lead to full compromise? Which one are nation states actively exploiting? Which ones are you seeing an uptick? Citrix NetScaler, I just mentioned recently. Boom. Clio file transfer, Move It file transfer. Like these things, we have threat intelligence to inform us that they're actively being punched in the throat. To ignore that information is frankly negligent, right? Which, by the way, okay, so anyways, this is a hot mess express. I think the story speaks for itself. Let me give you a piece of knowledge. Let me give you a piece of knowledge that you won't hear in a classroom or read in a textbook. All right? This one goes out to all of the practitioners out there. Okay? I'm big on the Casey Kasem. You'll have to Google it, Gen Z. I'm big on the Casey Kasem thing. This long distance request comes from a GRC practitioner in Oregon. Sierra says, I'd like to learn something about something from this story. Okay, so check it out really quickly. What ends up happening is if you have a crap cybersecurity program, please mark tape on this one, okay? This is important because you're going to paint yourself in a corner. If you have a crap cybersecurity program and you get audited, or you're trying to get insurance, or you're trying to show progress to your leadership, okay? And the next step that you can take is to sign up for threat intelligence. In your mind, okay, you're like, oh, this is so easy. Oh, like pants off. This is so easy. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Hey, leadership. Hey, external regulator. Hey, insurance company. Hey, investors. I want you to know, as the director of information security, or as the lone wolf cyber person here, I've been busting my hump trying to improve the maturity of this program, and I have signed up for an ISAC or a threat intelligence feed, or I'm in direct contact with CISA, or we have an open relationship with InfraGard. Okay. Great job, Jerry. Great job, Space Tacos. Wonderful to hear. We'll take note of that. Here's where that's good, right? Assuming it is true. If you sign up, which I assume is true, and then you do nothing with it, that's a problem. If you sign up and you're truly interested in maturing your information security program to use that intelligence to make better choices, better investments, better prioritization of time and resources, then good. You are friggin' winning at life. What some people do, and nobody in this chat, what some people do is they sign up, they take a friggin' victory lap around the office about how great they are at maturing the program, and then they sit back on their butt and play, like friggin' Xbox. They're like, oh man, Baldur's Gate 3 is really taking my time. But don't worry, boss, because I'm crushing it. Then here's what happens. Here's the trick. Here's the hook. Here's where you don't want to be. 6 months later, 12 months later, whatever it is, they come in and they say, hey, let's talk about how you're acting on your threat intelligence. And you're like, wait, what? And they're like, last year you did this. Clearly you're doing something else, right? Clearly you're moving in the right direction. And that's where you get exposed, not as a fraud, but like you get exposed. If the second you start doing something, you're establishing a baseline, a new foundation that you have to build on top of. So I'm giving you a hyperbolic example, but what I want to point out is do not outkick your coverage on representing your information security program, or you're going to end up in this friggin' rat race trying to keep up with what you told people you were doing. Be honest, be real, be practical. There is a maturity plan for any information security program out there, but you have to be authentic and real about what you're capable of. Don't say you're doing things. Don't take easy wins unless you're ready to do something with the wins. And this threat intelligence one is perfect. So if you feel me, let me know in chat. I'm just seeing people do it time and time again. It's annoying.
With 2 billion weekly downloads targeted in supply chain attack. Attackers compromised a maintainer's account in a phishing attack and injected malware into 18 popular NPM packages with more than 2.6 billion weekly downloads.
One moment. The only thing that interrupts, there's only two things that interrupts the story from the reporter. One is if I am absolutely blind with rage, losing my mind about a story, and I thought I was done losing my mind, and I'm not. Doesn't happen often. I'm pretty chill. The other time is when someone gets a job in our community, we stop everything and recognize it. And I don't know what the role is. I think it's the same one that I knew about, but David O'Neill is in chat right now, sharing a victory. Ladies and gentlemen, way to go. Congratulations, David O'Neill.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Hell yeah, David O'Neill. Wrecking ball.
The code hijacked browser-based crypto transactions by intercepting wallet APIs and replacing destination addresses with attacker-controlled ones. NPM has since pulled malicious versions, and researchers note only fresh installs made during a narrow time window were likely affected, which limits overall impact. Plex.
All right. There's a pretty big hat. All right. I know I saw Johnny Hammond do a video. I didn't watch it. I just saw the thumbnail, but okay. So an NPM package that has to do with crypto that has 2 billion weekly downloads. I don't know, as a software developer, is 2 billion, is that good? Is that what we like? I'm being playful. 2 billion is ridiculous. How many humans are on the planet? How many humans on Earth? 8 billion. 8 billion. Jesus Christ. How is that even possible? There's 8 billion humans on the Earth. So 1 out of every 4 humans. There's 400 people in chat right now. So last week, 100 of us downloaded this package. That seems, I don't know. This seems, I'd want to fact check this one. But anyways. A very popular package got infected, and it's pretty straightforward. If you're doing crypto transactions, they swap your wallet address, which your address is a unique identifier, with theirs. Very simple, very straightforward. I will tell you, it would be trivial to be able to look up that wallet and see it on the blockchain to see what's going on. So first of all, the threat actor would need to launder that money, right? Because law enforcement can look right at that wallet and see where it goes. All right. Secondly, they do say in here that they're requiring two-factor authentication for people. All this is going to do is stem the bleeding. This isn't going to change. If the NPM package has been implemented in a product and you're using the product, two-factor authentication isn't going to save you, because this is basically like an integrity attack. It's overwriting the wallet address at the moment of, establishing establishing the network connection and writing to the API. So 2FA is just going to stem the bleeding, okay? The attackers threatened that the targeted maintainers' accounts would be locked on the 10th to scare them to click on the link. All right, so here we go. Social engineering attack. They basically scared the maintainers that their account would be locked out unless they took some action. They took the action, got compromised, off and running. Very clever bit of a... threat actor behavior. And honestly, guys, this is a classic example of a phishing attack. a spear phishing attack, honestly. So this is spear phishing. Spear phishing is where you don't send out a mass email to thousands of people talking about Viagra or like a new job that you can get working from home, or that you had a Best Buy invoice or whatever. Spear phishing is I send it directly to Daniel Lowry and I'm like, hey, I am a representative from Monster Energy Drink and I've seen your IRL shows and love it. Click here to check out, a friggin' collaboration opportunity worth $10,000 and all the Monster Energy you can drink. Like Daniel Lowry in that instance, Daniel Lowry is just like pushing children out of the way to get to his keyboard to slam like the enter button and get on that. And then it pops up with like a Microsoft Office login. It's like, oh, to access this, you need to log into Microsoft Office. And he's like, get out of my way. I got to get that monster. And then he gets popped. Okay. Now, Daniel Lowry wouldn't fall for that because Daniel Lowry is the one that sends the phishing emails out. Daniel Lowry doesn't click on phishing emails. But anyways, it just goes to show how important consistency, persistence, conviction is important in cybersecurity. And again, listen, nobody gets all hot and bothered talking about offensive lineman talk or defensive lineman talk in football, but those roles are important because they allow the quarterback or the running back to do what they need to do. Just like GRC people, guys, listen, I know you've been talking about phishing emails since the day you got your Security Plus, but the reality is it's still hyper effective. Somebody made a ton of illegal money off of ripping people off because they started with a spearfish email. So until further notice, educate people on falling for phishing emails. It's either a scare tactic. Your account's going to be shut down. Your account's going to be whatever. You're going to get screwed. Click here now. Or it's either a stick or it's a carrot, right? The carrot would be, oh, hey, would you like 2 tickets to the Masters tournament? Would you like, like I just said, would you like a collaboration with Monster Energy Drink, Daniel Lowry? Okay. Don't fall for these things. And the thing is, me and you don't fall for these things. Chris Young, Kathy Chambers, Alice Grimm, we don't fall for that, but that's not who we're trying to protect. We're trying to protect Carl in accounting or my Aunt Dorothea at home. Okay. By the way, I do want to point out as a quick aside, I am seeing a significant uptick at the macro level of text message based inbound attacks starting because on average, a person takes 90 minutes to check an email on average, and they take 90 seconds to check a text message. So be real. Think about yourself. How often do you, if you get an email, how often do you check it? If you get a text message, how quickly would you check it? All right, let's keep cooking.
Offers yet another password spill. Plex alerted some users to reset their passwords following a new breach. It's third in a decade. Emails, usernames, and securely hashed passwords may have been accessed, but credit card data apparently was not affected. The company says the impact is limited and the attack method has been addressed. Users are advised to reset passwords, log out of connected devices, and enable two-factor authentication. Details on the number of affected accounts were not disclosed, and only select users appear to have received notifications. I was one of them.
Oh, getting a little personal, are we? There we go. Who was that? Sarah Lane, I think. Sarah Lane showing a little bit of vulnerability. Thank you, Sarah. One of us. Okay. So Plex is like basically open source home Netflix. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. That's fine. If you don't know what Plex is, it's fine. You're probably not affected by this. If you do know what it is, you're like probably leaning into the story, wanting to know what's up. All right. So you can have a Plex server hosting your own media collection, or you can have a client that is consuming your media collection or somebody else's. Let's see. Passwords were hashed. Okay. So the passwords were gotten, but they were hashed. You can use tools like Hashcat to crack those passwords. So your password being hashed is cool, but if your password sucks, they can be cracked, which is doesn't do you any good. Best practice. This is simple, straightforward. And by the way, thank you, Plex, for a simple, straightforward action. Go to plex.tv/reset, change your password. Simple as that. Yeah, Plex has had a couple problems in the past. But dude, like anything, okay? Whether it's supply chain, whether it's software, whatever it is, you have to have incident response is typically very technical. Let's quarantine the infected machines. Let's eradicate the problem. Let's recover to known good state. It's all super technical. But recovery, after an incident, the response, the recovery of that does need to include non-technical things like communication, internal to the organization, external to customers, external to business partners, actions for them to take, clear communication, not just, oh, we suffered a breach and your data is important to us, double middle finger. Like, what should they know? What should they do? And, oh, by the way, this is what I'm saying right here. The reason I'm giving them their flowers right here, out of an abundance of caution, Plex recommends you reset your password by going to this website. This is simple, understandable, straightforward. It's not some friggin' size 4 font PDF looking thing that looks like it was like unreleased cold case files from the FBI in the 50s where you got to like dig through it and figure out what the hell you're supposed to be doing with this stuff. This is simple and straightforward. Also, can I give Plex a Ric Flair woo? They don't store your credit card data on their servers. Thank you for practicing good data governance, Plex. This is what it looks like.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Vanta. Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Like right this second, right now. We know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to our GRC programs, we rely on point-in-time checks. But more than 9,000 companies have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across 35 frameworks, like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and helps you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that is a new way to GRC. Get started at vanta.com/headlines. That's vanta.com/headlines.
Yo, let's do this. Hey, do we have any first timers here? If you're a first timer, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. All right, holla at y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you, international community. Also appreciate the stream sponsors who enable me to bring this show. Don't be shy, guys. It does help the channel. It helps me. It helps the community by clicking on the links in the description below. That's kind of how the less anti-siphon and barricade, because I have such a great relationship with them. But in general, clicking on the links, they keep track of the link clicks, and that's how they determine if it's worth their time to work with us. So every little bit helps. I do personally vet these sponsors to make sure that it's somebody who I would want to associate with. So it's pre-screened is acceptable. The Dumb 103, first timer, welcome to the party. Holy crap, we got a bunch of first timers. So at the Dumb 103, at Joel Turnbull, welcome to the party, Joel.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yes, sir. Thank you all. I hope you're having a great first stream. I think Joel's a regular. He's just first time chatting. Love it. Yo, check it out. I want to say shout out to the sponsors, Barricade, Anti-Siphon, Threat Locker, and Flare. Didn't mention them at the beginning, but I want you to know Flare is a cyber threat intelligence platform that I really like, but Flare Academy is an educational hub built to democratize cybersecurity knowledge, and they are absolutely destroying it with these awesome free webinars that I love. If you go to simplycyber.io/Flare right now, you're actually going to see this amazing training on September 23rd. I am registered for it. Learning about Russian cyber criminal forums ecosystem. Guys, I will tell you right now, I do not want to dabble or interact with Russian cyber criminals aside from protecting and defending. Like, I don't want to go into their house, their bar, and start running around with them because I just don't know that world, and I don't want to trip and fall on my face, right? If you're a happy moisture farmer, you don't go cruising around Mos Eisley Cantina. You picking up what I'm putting down? But you know what I can do? I can attend this webinar and get firsthand knowledge, firsthand accounting of what this forum taxonomy looks like, how it works, how they interact with each other. And this will better inform me as a practitioner on understanding those threat actors and their behaviors. So go to simplycyber.io/flare and sign up for this free webinar. Plus, I love Flare. I really like those people. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to hang out with them at the pre-show banter later today with Anti-Siphon's Anticast. All right, guys, we did the Worldwide Wednesday earlier, so we don't have anything else. Let's jump to the la-la-la-las. Joel Turnbull, get ready for la-la-la-las. Alpha Sierra, lead us off. Now, you know I like to close my eyes and let my head bob. You do you, boo. There's judgment-free zone. Let it go. Oh my God. I'll tell you, it never gets old, y'all. It never gets old. Let's finish strong.
Cyber Command and NSA to remain under single leader. The U.S. administration announced it will not split the dual leadership of U.S. Cyber Command and the NSA, citing the complexity and multi-year timeline. Senior officials say maintaining the dual hat structure allows faster, more unified operations. Army Lieutenant General William Hartman, acting head of both agencies, is expected to be confirmed permanently. U.S.
All right, so for the sake of time, because I went a little long on some of these stories, I'm going to speed run the last half of this show. But I just want you to know there's so much politics involved with this. Cyber Command, NSA, going to remain under a single leader. Okay, this is how it's been. It's usually a 4-star general or 3-star general. And there's so much overlap, so much relationship, and frankly, so much concentrated power that it would require a great movement to cause this to change, right? Okay. Yeah, right here. Enormous complexity of the task. So this is how it's going to stay. It's worked quite fine. This is very similar to, they're talking about coming out with a cyber military capability, like Marines, Navy, cyber. Like we have Space Force, but like a truly separate cyber warrior thing. I love the idea of it. I don't think it'll get traction. Really, like human nature, I don't care if it's the Department of War, which I think we're calling it now, or whatever, politics in general, your business. People in power like to keep their power. They don't like to give up power. So if you're talking about doing, you know what I mean? Like, you always got to keep that in mind, okay? All right, let's keep going.
Indict Ukrainian national.
By the way, this doesn't change anything for any of us, really, okay?
For hundreds of ransomware attacks. The U.S. Justice Department indicted Ukrainian national Vladimir Tymoshenko for orchestrating hundreds of ransomware attacks since at least 2018. He and others have said to have targeted more than 250 U.S. companies and hundreds globally, causing tens of millions in damages, primarily to large corporations, healthcare, and industrial firms. The State Department is offering up to $10 million for information leading to his arrest.
Okay.
Microsoft.
All right. I definitely need a producer. I can't update the stories. I can only do 5 here, and I can't update them while I'm trying to listen. All right, so I'm going to save you guys all a lot of effort and confusion, and I'm going to break this story down for you quite simply, okay? Ukrainian indicted, okay? Check it out. I hate to say, I hate to be cynical or sound like a D, okay? But like, there's been plenty of indictments. An indictment just means, in the sake of this story, the indictment just means that the U.S. federal, government, the FBI, they have enough information and evidence to support that they know that this guy is a ringleader of massive ransomware attacks going back to 2018. Okay, so this guy is a professional ransomware cyber criminal, 7 years. He's probably flown first class to change the forecast. All right. He's definitely, like yachts and stuff. Let's see. He's done 250 different victims. They targeted their attacks to target companies that made more than $100 million, et cetera, et cetera. Now, why do I bring this up? Here is the deal. I've seen this time and time again, and it's sad. And there's been a couple wins for law enforcement, but here's the TLDR that you need to know. This guy who they've indicted, while he's Ukrainian, whatever, he's definitely in a country that doesn't have extradition. If you're going to be a cyber criminal, get comfortable living in countries that are not extradition friendly to the United States. Most, United States gets hit quite a bit. And a lot of these criminals live in places that they basically have bulletproof cover, right? There are North Koreans that have been indicted for 10, 15 years. There's tons of people that have been indicted. That doesn't mean they're arrested. That doesn't mean you can't go get them. It means you have to wait for them to screw up. Now, I will say that I believe it does impact their financials, like their bank accounts and stuff can get frozen and screwed with. So that's good. But this guy won't be brought to justice until he steps into like a familiar country. And I want to give you one example. This one's a little bit of a dated reference, but Romanian, and sorry, Dragos, Romanian Carter arrested, and I think he was in Bali. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is it right here. 4 Romanian citizens have been arrested by the Bali police in Bali. I believe these are the guys. So if this is what I'm thinking of, I actually saw a talk at DEF CON years ago from the FBI agents who ran this case. But basically, for a minute there, credit card skimming was like the biggest crime. And there was a Romanian guy that was like the ringleader of all of it. And he got sloppy, and he flew in on a private jet to Bali so he could spend a weekend on, one of these villas. And the FBI got notified, and they immediately got to Bali as quickly as possible. And I believe they arrested him as he was trying to get back on his airplane to fly out of Bali. So, once you make these choices, it's fine. You can be a criminal kingpin and make tons of money, but you do limit your travel opportunities, and you got to keep an eye on your shoulder. But this doesn't mean that the U.S. has won. It just means that this guy is now more interesting. And again, indict Lazarus. Lazarus Group, one of the most infamous cyber criminal or nation state threat actor gangs, or whatever you want to call it. Billions of dollars attempt to be stolen. They've been indicted years ago, and none of them have been arrested because they don't leave North Korea, right? I will say, if you have any information leading to the arrest, $10 million is quite compelling. So get some of that.
Fixes 81 flaws, 20 days. Adobe patches critical cold fusion and commerce vulnerabilities. Adobe patched around 24 flaws across 9 products, including critical bugs in Cold Fusion and Commerce Magento. Another critical bug lets unauthenticated attackers bypass commerce security features. Adobe also patched high-severity issues in Acrobat Reader, Premiere Pro, AEM, Dreamweaver, and other tools. Microsoft fixed 81 vulnerabilities, including 2 0 days in Windows SMB Server and SQL Server. 9 were rated critical, with 5 enabling remote code execution. The SMB flaw could allow relay attacks and privilege escalation. The SQL Server bug stemmed from a Newtonsoft.json issue that could cause denial of service. Other fixes covered Office, Hyper-V, BitLocker, and Windows kernel. Hackers hide.
All right. So, I guess it's time to patch your Windows stuff, right? You gotta patch it. Basically it's Patch Tuesday. I'm actually filming right now the hold on 1 second. Again, it's hard for me to do this like real time, but got the little thing updated. So it's Patch Tuesday, September 2025. All the patches coming out. Really, you should. I know, Deb and Grady. I thought the same thing, dude. Listen, you should not be reacting to Patch Tuesday. You should have a vulnerability management program that is accounting and expecting the patches. That's literally why Microsoft has developed this cadence so you can plan accordingly and get your end users, your application owners, your system owners conditioned for expectations so leadership can direct and explain and empower you to get these patches applied in a reasonable time. Now, sometimes, when you patch, like the system doesn't take, it breaks, whatever. Sometimes you can't apply the patches because you're running Windows XP in the back office there, whatever. But you want to get these. They did mention remote code execution. Remember, I could do I'm making a whole course on vulnerability management actually, but not all these vulnerabilities are created equal. Some are more critical than others. Some are more scary than others. Remote code execution is definitely a term you want to keep an eye out for. That's bad. That's bad. Unauthenticated remote code execution is the worst. That means anyone, anywhere can do anything. Not good. Okay. There's 2 0 days. 0 day means it's like it had been disclosed prior to a patch being available, or it's actively exploited. But like that's actually, to me, 0 day means it's been disclosed and there's no patch available. It's like the exposure window starts at 0 because we're computer science people and we're nerds. Yeah, you can see here, no official fix is available. Windows SMB, I always get like a little PTSD when I see Windows SMB vulnerability simply because Eternal Blue, the WannaCry vehicle back in 2017 was the it abused SMB. All right, we're close here. Take care, Elliot Matisse. Good to see you. All right, so this one isn't even there. What I will say is just be, patch your stuff and be mindful. Listen, elevation of privilege, typically that means you already have to have access to the resource and then elevate from there. So this would have to be a chained exploit, not initial attack. Just patch your stuff, okay? You gotta patch
Behind
it.
Tor in exposed Docker API breaches. Akamai researchers reported attackers are targeting exposed Docker APIs using Tor to hide their activity. The malware sets up persistent SSH access, blocks external API access, and installs tools for scanning and propagation. A downloaded Go binary enables self-replication and removal of competitor containers, showing botnet-like behavior. This suggests potential future expansion for credential theft, browser hijacking, and DDoS attacks. Remember to follow the CISO.
All right, hold on. So this honestly, this story should have a diagram, okay? I'm just going to let you know the hair stood up on my arms. Like this should have a diagram, okay? Let's see what they did here. Because this is pretty cool. This is using a new attack technique. The attackers search for exposed Docker APIs, which I guess is on port 2375. You can use Shodan to find these, okay? Then they send a container creation request using a modified Alpine Linux image in a base 64 encoded shell command, okay? All that base 64 is going to do is obfuscate the command. It doesn't change it. And then it installs curl and Tor, launches the Tor daemon. Then it goes to check IP Amazon. So it's just getting its IP address, right? So it knows it knows what the IP address is of the container, potentially for a reverse shell later. Once the Tor is active, it downloads the second stage payload, and then you're pwned. All right, so here's the deal. Here's the TLDR on this one. This one's pretty cool, okay? All you want to do is look at your environment, like look at the external IP addressing range that you're responsible for, and look to see if port 2375 is listening. If it is, you have Docker. Now, it may or may not be vulnerable, right? So just because it's exposed, right, doesn't mean it's vulnerable. Just because your front door is unlocked doesn't mean your house has been robbed. It just means that a criminal could walk in, right? I think that's always important to understand. If it is vulnerable and a threat actor finds it, then they could exploit it and then, start doing nonsense on your device. Once it's on there, it actually executes a job, a cron job every minute to block external access to port 2375, which basically stops you from getting in there. I will tell you that is interesting because that would be an indicator of compromise. If your systems people, your IT people are complaining that like Docker isn't working for whatever reason, or you got some Docker problems, it could be part of that. It is self-replicating, so they're saying that it could be building a botnet. This right here are screenshots from IDA Pro. If you want to get into like software exploitation and reverse engineering. I'm old, so I came up on IDA. A lot of the youngs like Ghidra. Gen Z, what's your favorite disassembler? Drop it in chat. All right. This is kind of funny. Lazy. So that like when you decompile the code, you can't hide anything, right? And they're saying that during analysis of the code, they saw basically commented out or inactive code around port 23 and port 9222, Chrome's remote debugging interface. So basically it looks like it's a an appropriated piece of malware that threat actors just commented out what they needed to. So yeah, Amish Brain, Tyler is definitely very active in Simply Cyber and also has his own community. He does live streams. You can definitely get into that. All right, what do we got on time? It's 9:02. I just want to do one more thing, okay? So just bear with me 1 second. Since I spent the $5 and bought a Shodan membership when they were offering that lifetime membership for $5. I don't know if anyone else got in on that, but of course, I have like 5 Shodan accounts, so I'm not sure which one is which here. All right. All right. So this is Shodan, right? Once you log in, port 2375, and then we can just look. 692,000 options. I don't know if they're vulnerable or not, but this is 629,000 potential, or 692,000 potential exposed Docker. They're definitely exposed Docker containers. This is definitely in the United States. This is how you can find if you have vulnerable ones, okay? That's it. All right, let's cook. By the way, I didn't see a graphic on this one. Kind of a little disappointed on this. No, I guess they did have IDA screenshots, which is pretty dope. I'll take it. IDA screenshots, reasonable. All right, everybody, holla, holla, holla. We are going to be going over to Jawjacking, the 30-minute Ask Me Anything, where I try to help you to the best of my ability alongside members of the Simply Cyber community to get you all the answers. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. If this was your first episode, I hope you had a great experience and come back tomorrow. If you're a regular, thank you for supporting the community, and I appreciate you. This has been episode 959, September 10th. Until next time, stay secure. Don't go anywhere. We're going to pivot over to Jawjacking. I take care of everything. You just sit back, relax, and let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over you. Awesome. All right, let's go. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. I am Jerry Guy, wearing my Run DMC, Run GRC shirt, representing the GRC people, the GRC Mafia in chat, but I am willing to help anyone and everyone. Ask me anything, I'll answer to the best of my ability, and if I can't answer it, I will do everything in my power to get you an answer to your question. So let's have it. Where are you at? Drop it in chat. Oh my gosh. I do want to let everybody know, since before till the questions roll in, I did take my truck to the mechanic last night to drop off. It's being worked on at 10:30 today. I know some of you have been following that storyline. What I did was I got my Mrs. Auger to follow me. I waited until 9:30 at night, so there's no traffic on the roads. I filled my truck up with radiator coolant, and then I drove like I stole my truck 7 miles to the mechanic, and then I parked it at the mechanic, and there's just radiator fluid pissing out the bottom of my truck. So I definitely think it's just a loose gasket or something like that. But anyways, I think we should be back up and operational starting tomorrow. First question from Roswell, UK. If you could remove one technology from the world, what would it be? Oh my gosh, dude. I want these kind of ultimate questions are always hard, because the person you ask then begins to internally evaluate, well, if it's this option, is there actually a worse option? So I guess let me just kind of, man. One technology, huh? What's a technology that just sucks? Bad for people. I don't know, man. It's so hard. That's a hard question. I'll flag it. If you guys have an answer to that one, it's too massive a question, Roswell, UK. I would one thing that everybody should know about me is I love analyzing things. I enjoy researching what I need to buy more than I enjoy buying it. Any Simply Cyber Flex Fit hats? I don't know if we have Flex Fit. I don't have a warehouse and maintain my own merch. I use a place called Spreadshop as a kind of a drop ship. So if you go to simplycyber.io/merch, simplycyber.io/merch. I don't really pump the merch because I just have it for fun. But Zach, what are entry-level cyber roles? Why are entry-level cyber roles so rare right now? Well, a couple things. One, businesses are trying to figure out what they can use AI for. Also, right now, businesses are struggling to know what the economic outlook is going to be as far as inflation, tariffs, cost of everything. Dude, right now, I don't know if you guys have been following, American farmers are on the verge of collapse based on the news that I'm reading, because it costs more to make the products that they're growing than they can sell it for. So there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. Anytime you ever see market downturns, and I know this is macro level, but anytime you see market downturns, it's typically because there's uncertainty and concern in the market. So a lot of businesses are at the micro level are demonstrating that uncertainty. So they're reluctant to hire, right? There's hiring freezes that you may have heard of. I know some organizations have hiring freezes. That's a direct result of the uncertainty that they don't know. So it's not just entry level. It's all the roles. Additionally, there are entry-level cyber roles. They're just not, I wouldn't say they're rare. I would say that there's a lot of people applying to them. Also, it's important to note, this is very important to note. cyber is not really an entry level industry. So I would almost say like there's junior cyber roles, but like entry level, to me, entry level kind of denotes like no experience and like you just walk in like off the street, entry level. There's a lot of prerequisite knowledge that's kind of expected for entry level. But I do think businesses are just trying to get more with less, and there's uncertainty in the market. That's what I think. I know that's not a very fun technical answer, but I do believe if you look at the markets, that's why. So Chris Young saying entry level. Yeah. So I think junior level. In fact, if you go back and watch the very first Simply CyberCon, the only virtual one, John Strand was our keynote speaker, and he actually spent 30 minutes railing against like literally the question you just asked. A lot of people enjoyed that. Oh, so people are dropping their the technologies they would get rid of. Evil bots, right? I mean, that's hard. Subscriptions, yeah, Silence Poet. Subscriptions is all the rage. You know, that's one thing. Like, so Simply Cyber Academy is pay once, get it forever. That's how TCM used to be. And then, I mean, but, you know, look at what happened. He changed the subscription model and got acquired. Social media, that's a split hair. Kind of dealing with that at my home right now. We have young children, but one's a recently minted teenager who wants to get social media accounts, and me and mom are standing the line. Kyle wants to get rid of the snooze button. That's funny. All right, let's see. Oh, there you go. Actually, Microsoft Teams, Augusta Delgado. That might be a contender. So Cyber Shinigami, Sean Washington wants to know how's DayZ going. So I'm happy to report that I am like 30 days sober from DayZ. Got my DayZ coin. Dude, DayZ, I got the level of proficiency that I wanted to DayZ to scratch the itch. DayZ is like a relentless, cruel, like overlord. Like you can't play it for like 20 minutes and like scratch the itch. I just don't have time to play DayZ. I would play for hours, build my character up, and then immediately get annihilated the second someone finds me. So fortunately, I feel like I'm past my DayZ days. I'm looking towards Battlefield 6, which, by the way, apparently we're gonna have a Simply Cyber clan for Battlefield 6. Cyber Risk Witch, any recommendations for safe trail running in Charleston? Oh yeah. So Cyber Risk Witch. I would avoid. So North Charleston, you kind of want to be careful with. I would say if you Google it, you'll have to go across the water. But in West Ashley, which is where I live. Oops, OPSEC. Space Tacos. DayZ is a video game. If you just Google DayZ, a video game, you'll see it. There's something called the Greenway. Cyber Risk Witch, the Greenway. It's basically like a 7-mile straight trail. It's like an old train track that they pulled up. Lots of people do that. It's literally where I run. I run the Greenway probably 95% of the time. If I wasn't so ridiculously busy that weekend, it would be fun to like lead a group run. But yeah, I can, if you want to ping me on Discord, I can give you a little bit more. My favorite thing, Cyber Risk Witch, is to run in the city downtown. It's a very walkable city, which means you can run it pretty well. But you also take on the chance of getting hit by a car, which I've never been hit. I've been almost hit, but good question though. Hopefully I'm going to run today. I'm still trying to break in those shoes. Chris Young, still accepting applicants for beta testing. I haven't accepted any applicants for the beta, the vulnerability management analyst course. I'm releasing a vulnerability management analyst masterclass. Ooh, they're already working on my truck. I do want to share this with you guys. Fuck, man. Check this out. I'm excited, so I'm sharing it. That's I was gonna post that on Discord, but I couldn't. See that? That's the production studio. There we go. Like, it's up and running, and we are filming the course. It's probably going to be, honestly, like 15 hours of course content deep. It's very much, if you like the GRC Analyst Masterclass, you'll like the vulnerability management one. All right, let's keep going. All right, continuing to look. How many cybersecurity roles would you estimate will be replaced by AI in the next 10 years? Ooh, fortunately, not as many as you would think. It's tough for me to, like, if I gave you a number, it would just be based on nothing. So I don't really feel great giving you a number, Dre, 980. Certainly some of them. One of the interesting things about cybersecurity is that threat actors are constantly pivoting, constantly innovating, constantly doing things that, break the box or think out of the box. So it requires like human ingenuity and innovation and thoughts in order to combat that, which AI is essentially like a neural network brain. But I do feel like AI operates within constraints. So I think there'll always be opportunity for us to work. But I mean, I don't know, 20%. 10 years is a long time. I don't even know what it's going to look like in 10 years. I honestly, I worry for my children a little bit. Let's keep going. Poner Joe says, I can confirm I started a pen test job recently, and I can tell you it's not entry level. So much. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Poner Joe. Also, Poner Joe killing it with his Poner Joe's another one of these case studies of like putting in the work, doing the right things, consistency, vigilance, getting the job. Great inspiring story. Mental Edge says, do you think Sec Plus and other entry-level certs have lost their value? Well, that question is that question requires a little bit of clarification, and I'll just do it myself. So Mental Edge, I think Security Plus still has value in market. The US government uses it as a baseline standard, so it has value. Other entry-level certs do not have as much value as they once did. Certifications in general have lost their shine. But I will say, from a value perspective, the knowledge you get, Mental Edge, from the training for those certs is valuable. So the Net Plus or Network Plus, right? That's not going to be a key differentiator in a hiring manager's decision, but understanding what the concepts are that Net Plus teaches you is great. Same for A Plus. Not going to make a difference on your resume. Having the knowledge, super valuable. Daniel Lowry is going to be working on a Pen Test Plus course pretty soon. We'll have to ask him. Daniel Lowry, let me know in chat if how Pen Test Plus works. Is it one of these ones that like you'll see on job applications, or is it more just a powerful way to learn more of the junior level pen testing stuff? All right, so Amish Brain asked the question, what's DayZ? DayZ is just like it's got a very, very cult following video game. It's a survival video game. It's very hard. It's borderline unbelievably unforgiving hard, which is why I got addicted to it. Do you... Stop it, Soulshine. Microsoft acquired Anthropic? Wait a minute. Holy crap. Well, didn't have this on my bingo card. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, Microsoft already has like Microsoft spent like $48 billion on OpenAI. I mean, that's an ass load of money. Sorry to swear. How much are they buying it for? I mean, Microsoft's got money, but dude, this is a major leverage. Anthropic is a direct competitor. So you might even get some antitrust stuff. It might be too early for lawmakers to identify this as an antitrust. Meta has been going gangbusters acquiring engineers. So this might turn into a Microsoft Meta, tee-off. I don't know, man. I really think that right now, honestly, this is going to sound a little hyperbolic. I really feel like right now, the AI is so Wild West and the opportunities are right there right now before the dust settles. It's like a huge snow globe that's been shaken up. And like, fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors those who take action. This is probably more of that. I'm just stunned. I'm stunned by this, frankly. I don't know what this looks like. All right, I'm continuing to look at chat. David O'Neill wants to be in the Battlefield 6 clan. I love it. John Brock, Battlefield 6. We are absolutely going to have a Team SC clan. This is like going to happen. Mental Edge said, am I a UFC fan? No, if it's on or there's like a pay-per-view, I'll catch it. But I don't really follow. I used to follow it back in the day, like Ken Shamrock, Hoist Gracie, like the early day. Like I definitely watched it when it was like human cockfighting. But then once Dana White bought it, I watched it a little bit. I feel like the time I like got off the train or it jumped the shark is when they started having the reality game shows with the fighters. And then they got to like get a contract if they won. I was like, I'm all good with this. Anderson Silva, I liked him. Uriah Faber, when he was in that other league, was pretty good. Alice Grimm, do you have any thoughts about how an attacker did a blunder by downloading a free trial of Huntress? Dude, why am I not knowing about these things? This is within the last day. You guys are holding me accountable to things that happened in the last day that I haven't read about yet. Let's look. All right. So Huntress with the win. Threat actor searches Bitdefender. Threat actor comes across Huntress. Threat actor signs up for a Huntress trial. I guess, hey, I'll tell you what, Alice Grimm. I'll read this story right after I get off the stream with you guys, and I'll talk about it tomorrow, because it's not fair for you guys to watch me read this. I will say, just on the surface, it doesn't surprise me. You got to threat actors, while they make them look super, OG, like super hacker in the movies and stuff. Some of them are just, making bad OPSEC, making bad choices, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, Justin Gold. I guess naming my the fighters that I liked is aging me, right? Whatever. Dr. Jerry, what's a surprising skill gap in cyber hiring in 2025 that makes it harder to build resilient teams? I think it really is. Well, at least, I haven't hired in a year or two, but like what I would say is one of the things that always boggled my mind is, actually, I'll tell you one of the biggest skills gaps that's quite surprising to me. Understanding networking. Okay. And I know that I rail on this all the time. When I was at MUSC, I started an internship program, and we farmed a lot from College of Charleston. Their computer science bachelor's program at the time, I don't know if they fixed it since, their computer science bachelor's program did not have a networking course in it. Blows my mind. All right. You get a lot of candidates who don't understand networking, and it just surprises the crap out of me, because it's so important to understand the battlefield and threat actor behaviors and all these things, right? That blows my mind. Jay Fox, thank you. Jay Fox. Maybe I'll start another stream where I just like read stuff and then pontificate on it. Alice says, in what way could cybersecurity roles incorporate and grow with AI in the next 10 years that you foresee? All right. So here's the thing. I honestly believe you should treat AI like an intern, have it help you, have it do drafts of things. have like Wade Wells did a little AI bot that can help write detections, document them really well, save time. I think that's it. So what I would say, Alice Grimm, and to everybody who's a practitioner, like look at your normal workflows. Look at the things you do, okay? How much time do you spend replying to email a day? How much time do you spend writing reports a day? How much time do you do threat intelligence a day, right? Now, like my show, the morning show, like AI can't necessarily help you with that because I'm giving you experiences that are based on my 20 years of working in industry and stuff like that. But anything that you can do that you can save time with through AI, to me, is a great way immediately to get value from AI. So maybe you read an email, and then a lot of these email clients are now drafting auto responses. Look at the auto responses. Is there one that gives you 80% of the reply that you're looking for? Because a lot of times it's like, yeah, sounds great. See you at the meeting. Or thanks for the update. Or yes, let's move forward with that, right? You can just boom and, 10 seconds here, 30 seconds there. It adds up. Documenting, report writing, all those things. Lots of businesses use AI to help with reports. And now you're just reviewing the output and correcting it, modifying it, making it your voice, all these things, right? Now, as far as like technical capabilities, I could see AI. I've already seen it in some instances in the SOC, doing initial triage, like reducing false positives based on, more data enrichment, insights for the practitioner. I know Wade Wells and I were talking the other day, and he talked about how a lot of junior SOC analysts don't realize you should go look at the Discord, look at the Slack, look at email, look at the KB articles, look at previous tickets, right? If you could use AI to quickly look at all those things and save you 10 minutes of initial data gathering on a new ticket, why wouldn't you do that, right? Same with offensive security, right? Just another one, and then I'll move on to the next question. We're already seeing this, but like a patch comes out, you could use AI to reverse the patch, figure out what it fixed, use AI to write the exploit and move forward. Tons of options. All right, really quick. Oh my gosh. What's today? Wednesday? I want to remind everybody that at 9:30, if you are into industrial control systems, if you're into good people, Don Weber and Tom Van Norman, these guys, like, dude, if you were looking for a podcast that actually has some of the leading practitioners in OT and ICS, I got to tell you, it's right here. Simply ICS Cyber. Don't judge it because I don't work in ICS OT. I'm telling you, these guys, there's probably like 50 years of OT ICS cybersecurity experience between the two of them. Senior guys with senior views. They're talking about maritime cyber threats and critical infrastructure today. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm going to drop a link here. We can raid that together. If you're even remotely interested or work in OT or ICS, get on that. We'll run over there in just 2 minutes. Next question. What was part of a recent layoff? Feeling hopeless. Think of getting SysM. I have the SysP. Does it make sense? Yeah, upsurge. If you want to work in a senior level GRC role, then SysM is perfect. There are more senior roles than there are junior roles. The SysM does have market value for senior GRC roles. I think it's a banger of an option. Make sure you study the official ISACA resources, though. ISACA is pretty tricky with how they want you to answer their quiz questions or exam questions. In full disclosure, I had the CISA and SysM. I've let it expire, but with hybrid work still thriving in 2025, what's one underrated tool of practice boosting secure collaboration for distributed teams? Personally, I like Google Drive. I like having a shared cloud drive as like a central repo for people to share resources and stuff like that, and constantly pointing back to those things. I mean, that's like so you can have access to tooling. I mean, to the documentation and everything that you've got. I think an underrated practice is like people overcomplicating things, like ClickUp or Notion, some of these tools have so many features and people are trying to use all of them. And it actually reduces production and collaboration because it's so messy and stuff like that. So that's certainly one thing I would think of. Also, guys, don't be shy about when you get on a call with someone, spend a few minutes just like, hey, how's it going? Like, you good? Okay. Like, whatever. Like, take it, because if you were in person, you'd probably say hi, like in the hallway, and you're missing that. So be human too. I think it helps with long-term collaboration because you're building relationships. Okay, last one. Does anyone play Skull and Bones? I'm looking for people to play. I don't know what Skull and Bones is, but you can definitely go into general chat on the Discord server, RJ, and get that answer. All right, continuing to look at questions. Oh, my throat hurts bad, yo. I'm going to read this Huntress story afterwards. Chuck Liddell, the Iceman. Yes, it's good. Question from Space Tacos. Is it possible to have a successful side hustle while working as an auditor? Absolutely. 100% Space Tacos. Yes. You just have to make the time for it. It's hard. It's hard. But yes, absolutely. You just got to make sure, too, that you're not having conflict of interest with any of your employer or anything like that. All right. Ooh, we got the Gundam intro. All right, guys. Simply ICS Cyber is launching. They've got their anime intro. I love it. Go ahead. Let's go over there and raid. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I'm going to go eat about 30 bags of Ricola. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time, and I'll see you in chat for Simply ICS Cyber. Until next time, thank you all so very much. Have a wonderful day and stay secure.